So
So
everything is.
who's next? Do you have any idea?
I guess someone called Deepika. I guess, is it right?
Yes, you're right.
Ah, awesome,
You want to
awesome.
know about her?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, Deepika is a certified corporate trainer, facilitator, educator, and a keynote speaker and a coach. She holds a postgraduate in marketing and having 12 years of corporate work experience and has worked in diversified areas, including content and media industry too. She's passionate about transforming people towards better behavioral skills, interpersonal skills, effective communication, developing self-thinking, and learning mindset. Public speaking, guiding people in managing stress and time, and persuading them to indulge in creative thinking and also being curious. Her persuasive nature inspires and encourages people to realize their inner potential and ensure in bringing positive transformation in them. Wow, it's a very huge profile, ma'am, in transforming lives. Welcome, Deepika, ma'am. Stage is yours. The time starts now. You can unmute yourself and go ahead with your presentation.
Thank you, Padmashri. And thank you, Vanya, first of all, for giving that brief introduction and making me allowing me to continue with my presentation for the day. And transformation is a word which has always been close to my life. And I'm really feeling honored to be a part of World Transformation Day basis what Padmashri ma'am also mentioned about in my brief introduction. So today, the topic of mine, which I'm going to share with you across, is on connecting the dots. So with your due permission, I just want to reconfirm if I'm clear and loud. Yes, okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So let me please share my screen. Yeah, is my screen visible, friends?
Yes, ma'am, very much.
Thank you so much. So good morning once again. Myself, Deepika. I'm telling you good morning out here from Mumbai. It feels in pleasure. Thank you, Amplify. Thank you, Mr. Kushal, especially for giving this platform to come and share my point of views and my thoughts over the topic, connecting the dots. Well, as you can see, or rather, after seeing the screen, you will be bound to go back to your childhood days when your school teachers or rather your parents used to give a book which used to have those n number of shattered dots on the pages, and you used to sit with a pencil wondering, from where do I start? How do I complete this? How do I connect these dots which are randomly placed in front of me? You used to spend some particular time on it, seeing to it that you come out with something which you have never thought of, and you used to wait. So that's what the topic is on, connecting the dots. So moving ahead. Am I able to move my screen?
You can, ma'am.
It is on the first slide itself.
I'm just trying, but
Close and open it again, ma'am.
okay, okay, fine. Thank you. Sorry for the inconvenience. Now what you can see on the screen is some random directional arrows, right? What do you feel it gives you a sign about? Directionless? Yes, n number of arrows, but they don't have a specific direction. That's what it's clearly seen on the screen, as they all are in different directions, random directions, and hence they are directionless. Well, the similar thing happens with us in our lives. There are, like a coin, there are always two sides. One is when we are absolutely directionless in our life, we just keep on moving ahead, assuming things will fall in place someday, hoping, just sitting with our hands over and just thinking what is right happening. That's when you are completely directionless. The other side of the same coin, of that is called as life, is when you are chasing those specific goals in your life. when you're chasing your specific goals in your life, that at times it happens that you are bound to miss on the synergies, the power of synergy, which has so much of power in it that the factors which contribute in making you reach those specific milestones of your life, and they must have been n number as of now, since you started your life journey. At times, the factors which contribute to those reaching to those milestones come up with a more abundance, more energy, a more of value, rather than when you combine all those factors and sum it up at the end. That is as of now, where you are in your life. So there are two situations. One is either you are directionless, the other is you are running towards your specific goals. In such two situations, how do you think, or rather, what would you think is connecting the dots of your life comes into the place, and what kind of role does it play? Now, connecting the dots, as we started with from our school days, it is equally applicable to our life. It was never just a part of our education journey, which we used to get, but it is also a part of our life. So the next question, now that we have understood the two different types of life that we are living, either one is directionless or either we are chasing our specific goals. The question here comes is, are you actually connecting the dots or just collecting those? Now, connecting, yes, as the name suggests, you try connecting one after the other to all of them as and when required. Collecting just means that you are just collecting all of them in one go, but you are left confused. What do they mean? What is the sign they are gonna given to me? So the question here for all of us is, are we just connecting the dots or collecting the dots? Now, after this question, the next question which comes to your mind should be, is connecting the dots even necessary? Friends, I'm sure the answer you would have is yes. Now, when is the need to connect the dots? When everything feels random or disconnected, our greater purpose was not obvious, right? Well, it was time to sit down and do the work. Well, friends, you need to stop looking for the future. Rather, look for your answers. Instead, be present. Start peeling away the layers to find the dots which were there along with you for across each of us. Now, if only we wouldn't pave over them with the messages of saying, we used to always say like, I am a failure. Maybe that was a big mistake. What next? Where I'm gonna find it? We connect the dots lest we wander and suffer. These dots consist of our core values, scattered with the breadcrumb trail of our decisions, a sprinkling of our hope and trust for what's possible, bound together by a thick black line of acceptance for what we can never, or rather cannot, change. Now, there comes a point when we choose to no longer suffer with the guilt or any kind of regret of our past, and we need to brush away the dust to find out the lessons. That's where connecting the dots being necessary comes into the picture. Moving ahead, friends, now that we have understood why is connecting the dots even necessary and when do you need to connect those, now you can see on a screen there are some random dots. When they get connected randomly to each other, they still form some standard or some kind of a pattern, right? It's not that it always has to be a symmetrical geometrical figure, but yes, some or the other kind of patterns always form. And same is the case with our each lives as well. When we connect our journey, our past journey, and start connecting those milestones that we had reached, that small set of milestones, and the factors which contributed to them, which make us lead to reach our milestone. That's when you start finding out that yes, they are connecting to each other, or rather they were already connected to each other. And that's when you start to see the shapes. It may be random, it may be something you expected or something you knew, but yes, the shapes or the patterns is what the ultimate outcome is on connecting the dots. Now, as we also, just few slides before we saw, sorry, that a human is at times moving towards reaching out to specific goals, is chasing to reach out to that goals. And during that, doing that, they are missing out on the power of synergies. Now, though discovering those synergetic opportunities in any area of our lives, those areas can be health, career, relationships, and finance, right? Well, apart from discovering synergetic opportunities in all these areas, what I mentioned, friends, it has to, or rather it all begins with only 3 basic questions. The very first is asking ourselves questions. The second is observing our past and current experiences. The third being looking for the patterns. As I said you, the patterns may be of a standard shape or a random shape. Now, as we mentioned, or as we heard about asking ourselves questions, so I'll just quickly make you go through, maybe if you want, you can keep a note of some few questions which you, after this session ends, whenever you get time, whenever you feel like, can sit down and ask these questions to yourself. What qualifies as fun for you, even if it feels like work to others? What have been the most influential experiences of your life? In what kind of environment you feel most alive, energized, or at ease? What moments of your current life bring you the most of the satisfaction? What are your natural skills and talents? What instincts or inclinations have you followed and which have paid off for you in the past? So these are some random questions which I have put across for you, friends. Whether try and find out if you are finding out the answers for these questions. Now, as you begin to look at these questions, plus the factors which are affecting or rather contributing to these questions, you will begin to see the series of dots that define who you are, how you are naturally wired up. You will always have some dots which already connect. And you will probably also begin to see some opportunities to leverage and connect more of them more powerfully. What these dots connecting opportunities often reveal, my friends, is a range of life possibilities that have been quietly developing for years and years, decades even. We just haven't bothered or rather noticed them or allowed ourselves to step far enough back from the demands of our daily busy lives to fully appreciate their exact power. So friends, if you haven't considered questions like these in your life lately, I would recommend you to please do take some time to do so, because the result or the picture that forms when you start drawing the lines between your own life dots will soon become a map for your own future to compelling and so very promising, friends, that you will want to live it for real starting right now. Now, the next question is, are you really determined to make your ideal life a reality? I am sure all of us would have a common answer. That's yes. then you probably already have a lot of the pieces you need. You just have to put them together. Only when you put them together, a surprising picture, a surprising outcome in a form of pattern comes out. And that's where you get a clarity. Out here, you can see this is an image which is kind of depicting or reflecting that you, or rather all of us as an individual, have that ability to connect dots from our life so that we get a picture, so that we get a map, or so that we get a pattern, which once it is there in front of us, you can just see them, enjoy that you reach those milestones because those factors which contributed were there in place. And it actually made a difference in your life. And that is why you are friends here today. If all of those, sorry, if all of those things wouldn't have been there, I'm sure your journey would have been completely different and you would have a complete different story. I also recollect, or rather I would personally connect to the topic on connecting the dots. It all started with me after my schooling was over, after I completed my 12th standard. And that was the very main, or rather the starting point of a transition which happened. From there, my journey was completely full of surprises. What I had aimed or what I wanted to be going ahead with my career, what aims or what visions I had, what dreams I had, life gave me surprises completely in 180-degree direction. And that's when I had to start facing rather many ups and downs. And that is when initially I was directionless, as many of us are still date, I'm sure. In that directionless journey of mine, I was forgetting, or rather I was not able to see to it, or rather not realize that these are those dots which my life is giving it to me so that I sit back, think over it, observe them and start connecting them so that it gives me a sign. Where am I moving ahead? Why are they coming to my life, or why am I being faced by those challenges? If you are directionless, you would feel low, you would feel all is going down in your life. At a moment, I had almost, friends, given up of my life. But fortunately, I didn't reach up to that. I was back. I thought, let me give one more try. Although I had given a lot, I had lost my patience, but just one more thing. And that was the moment then when I sat down, took out some time, leaving all my routine work, and started recollecting those different dots, started putting them on paper, or rather writing them, jotting them. And then I could find that I could actually start connecting them, or rather, I could also find they were already connected to each other. It was just that I wasn't able to realize them. And that's when the change happened. Fortunately, the journey, which was drastically difficult for me, started turning out to be smooth. And I came out with flying colors out of those challenges. And I really feel proud for having those experiences in my life. And from then, it's not that my experiences of having challenges or difficult times had stopped. No, friends, it has always been there. But what picture comes to me is also very clear because I have started connecting the dots that life, maybe it has decided to give all different challenges to me every now and then, maybe sometimes at the parallel time, maybe one after the other, whatsoever. But they are going to be a part of my life. The only thing I need to realize and do is sit back and connect those. So now, at this moment of my life, I am pretty confident and clear that something new will bound to be coming up next moving after here as well in my life. And I am all set and ready to face them, learn, and come out with more flying colors. So, friends, transformation is what this small journey, which I just now narrated across. Life starts giving you challenges. It's upon you to take them positively or just sit back and cry over them. Transformation is that transition which happens when you sit back, start connecting those dots, form a pattern, come up with a big picture of your life, some different, definite kind of a pattern which you connect and which you connect with your own personal life so that you get a clarity. Friends, the only takeaway I thought of giving you all was, as we started on the topic today, connecting the dots, or rather connect the dots. We started from our school days, right? On the puzzle diagram, on the dotted diagrams, the puzzles which used to be given out to us, and then we used to start joining them numbers sequentially. So that's what a takeaway is also for today's session. Although we have been a long journey since our childhood that we are here today, but those very basic A, B, C, Ds of our life, where our education journey had started, still remains the same. And now the only difference is it is giving you a different type of a takeaway, because that times, and when you were in your childhood days, it was all about dots. Now that you have grown up, it's about connecting them. So that's when A, B, C, D were just alphabets for us. We need to now add them up. A plus B plus C plus D. Always be connecting the dots. Last message I would like to share across is, the life you experience now is something you allowed to be created in the past. So connect the dots. To keep it or to remove it is up to your individual choice, friend. You can connect with me on, that's my Gmail ID. There are 2 Gmail IDs of mine, and on LinkedIn also you can connect with me. These are the 2 social media platform links. So over with this, I guess I end up my slideshow and end up my talk as well. And I hope you all were able to have this short journey with me, wherein we started with our childhood about learning ABCD, and now that we are at this stage of our life, we just connected them, A plus B plus C plus D. Always be connecting those dots. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. That was an amazing journey, always connecting the dots, a simple but a powerful message. We'll definitely keep this in mind. And as you said, dots during our school days, but now it is experiences, connecting the experiences, right? Every day is a learning, every minute is a learning, every person is sharing. So we'll definitely keep this in mind. Thank you for being with us here. Have a wonderful day. Thank you,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Wishing all of you a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you. Anya, where did you disappear?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening. I'm connecting the dots
Okay.
now.
Okay, you're connecting the dots. Wonderful. Right. Okay. So what is that? Who's going to be our next speaker? Any ideas?